Oh, hey y'all. We are live at Brazen Beauty BU Radio. I can't hear myself. Why I can't hear myself? I am Chrissy, the CEO of the brand Cosmo Diva. We are here today. We are talking about history in our industry today. And we are here with a special guest, which is a former student of mine, which I love him to death. And he's perfect for this episode we're talking about today because he moved to Vegas with nothing, right, Brandon?
Nothing.
Not
hmm
a backpack?
Um, like 3 suitcases.
So for the ones out there who say they cannot move to a different city and start over, he is definitely the definition of starting over and taking that bet on himself and his perseverance. What Lynn would say, you bet on yourself. So I'm super excited about that today. And we're going to go ahead and let Brandon introduce himself.
Um, I'm Brandon. I'm known as More Hair St. Clair. I'm a hairstylist from Ohio.
So Brandon, what made you come to Vegas and start over with nothing?
Well, it was two conversations that happened in 2017. I was supposed to come with a friend of mine because he was here on my birthday, and so we talked about it. And I told him about a year. I would want to move. I really wasn't thinking about it, but 6 months later, I was going through a lot of stuff in my personal life and stuff at the salon I was working at. And one day I just went home and I was like, well, I want to move. I wouldn't mind moving. And she told my best friend was there and she was like, well, we can move to Vegas. And I sat there for like 2 minutes. I'm like, why wouldn't I move? Like, what is really tying me down to where I'm living? So right then and there, I text my mom and I'm like, I think I want to move. Then I text her again like, yeah, I'm going to move. Then I text her right after that like, I just booked my ticket. I'm moving to Vegas. And then like 3 weeks later, I was gone. And that was 3 years ago, January 1st.
Oh, that's dope. How long did it take for you to get off the ground when you got here?
Like 2 days.
2 days? Really? To book clients?
Yeah, like literally, like I was talking to a few people when I first decided to move, and I didn't have any money. I paid like my rent and deposit and stuff, and I rented a room out in Summerlin. So 2 days later, I had $3 to my name.
Wow.
Once I landed. So I'm like, I have to do something. So I started taking deposits. I actually booked a wedding in the first week that I moved here. This family from Hawaii came out and they needed a hairstylist for a wedding. So that's how I got the money to begin to, I started taking a bus from Summerlin to Nellis Road, going to the beauty supply stores because that's the only one, store I knew of. So I would go to the beauty supply store and pass out business cards.
That's dope. So basically, in other words, you guys, he did not make any excuses. He was promoting before he came to Vegas because there's a new platform. He didn't know anyone. So for those of you who are so petrified of social media, do you think social media had a big take in that with you moving and being able to promote?
Not at the time. Like I wasn't real social media savvy then. I would post, but I really didn't know what I was doing until I met you.
Right, I saw you posting like, all right, I'm moving to Vegas. So even if you
Right.
wasn't consistent, you were letting them know ahead of time you were coming to Vegas. You was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm being in Vegas. It's going to be a new hairstylist in Vegas. You wasn't mute about it. You put it out there, whether it was once a week,
Right.
twice a month. People knew you were coming. So you
Right.
put yourself out there. Even though you didn't know what you were doing, you started, right?
Yes.
So just because you don't know what you're doing and you're in a bad situation does not mean you do not have to start, which leads us into this clip that I want to show once I give it over to my producer with Madam CJ Walker. And that's the perfect example of her. She basically started. There was no excuses. So it's going to give you like the first tip on how she became Madam CJ Walker.
Number 1. Don't let your situation be an excuse for not starting. It's easy to think of reasons why you can't be successful. You don't have a lot of money. Your parents weren't entrepreneurs. Nobody believes in your ideas. Everyone tells you you're crazy. And the list goes on. Most of the world's most famous, successful entrepreneurs came from absolutely nothing. They didn't have any resources, but they were resourceful and they believed in themselves. Trust that what you're doing is right and go after what you want. Have confidence and believe that you can do it. Walker was an ambitious entrepreneur, and once she got started, that was it. Once business started to boom, Walker found it impossible to give in to her husband's demands that she settle. He wanted her to be happy with her business and was opposed to any plans for growth. It was making $10 a day, and he didn't see much more potential for growth. He believed that taking such big risks and expanding nationally would be an unwise move. However, she was so driven that it ruined her marriage, and even this could not stop her. It was not until Walker was 39 years old that she decided to go into business for herself. She had no formal education, no business experience, and a daughter to support, but Walker decided that this would be her second start in life. Walker decided that it is never too late to chase your dreams and pursue success. According to Walker, when we began to make $10 a day, my ex-husband thought that was enough. Thought I ought to be satisfied. But I was convinced that my hair preparation would fill a long-felt want. And when we found it impossible to agree due to the narrowness of his vision, I embarked on business for myself.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use.
Action item number 2. Act on crisis. Don't accept it. When faced with crisis, people either shrink down or they rise up. Which one are you going to do? A lot of the world's greatest ideas came because entrepreneurs were in a crisis and had to find a solution. If you can solve a crisis for yourself, chances are there are many other people out there who will gladly pay you to help them solve it as well, and you're on your way to business success. Walker was 37 years old when she found herself slowly losing her hair. She would wake up each morning with new clumps of hair on her pillow that had fallen out the night before. She didn't know what was causing it, but suspected a combination of poor diet and stress. It is now known to have been a common problem among black women during that time. But while others might have just disguised their problem with a wig or hidden themselves away from the rest of the world, Walker decided to turn this crisis into an opportunity. Walker was always on the lookout for an opportunity.
Perfect. I hope you guys heard that message. In other words, she found a problem and she solved it. It's something that I teach my students all the time. You will not know where you're going if you're not problem solving. So she had a crisis, which other women had that same crisis. She created a product that will help her and other women as well. So that is our topic today. I love Madam CJ Walker. I love her whole grind, even though there's rumors out there that the product wasn't hers. But when your focus is in the wrong place, it's so easy for people to step on you and move past you and just keep pushing. So Madam CJ Walker, as you guys know, she's the first millionaire woman in our industry, in the beauty industry, and you guys know the beauty industry is a multi-billionaire industry. So with her paving the way for us as far as product goes, I thought that was super dope. So one of the things that he said was act on a crisis and don't accept the crisis. In other words, I do hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't want to do it because I was scared. I didn't want to do it because I didn't have no money. I didn't want to do it. As you guys heard Brandon, he had $3 and he made it happen. Madam CJ Walker ain't have no money. She made it happen. So it's really no excuse. Either you're going to push past that crisis and sit in it, or you're going to find ways to solve solutions for that crisis for the industry. So Brandon, what was your crisis when you came here?
My crisis was probably a lack of funds, and not really knowing what I was doing. But honestly, I just enjoyed the journey, and of course, starting completely over with clientele, this is a different wave out here,
Mm-hmm.
People don't wear the same hairstyles as we do in the Midwest. I mean, they do now, but, people weren't getting a lot of the stuff that I offer. So I had to completely switch up my clientele and hand select who I wanted to service.
So you have to find your target audience.
Right. Your ideal client,
That's dope. So again, I know you said that when you came here, you only had $3. So that's your perseverance. You ain't have no choice. You
Right.
didn't have no support. You didn't have no system. You only could depend on yourself. So at the end of the day, you guys, like, the decision is yours. If you want to be successful in the beauty industry, you have to understand what it takes. It's not easy. You cannot do this. Now, I know Brandon said he did it in a week, but technically, if we want to take it back to him posting for months before he got out here, technically, he was promoting before he got here. So I don't want y'all to hear, oh, he did it in a week, so can I.
Oh no, correction. It took me 2 years to gain a stable clientele to where I can go into a salon and pay my booth rent and be comfortable. You know what I mean? It took me 2 years, but to start, actually doing hair, it took me a few days. But that's just me. Like, I was going after, and I had to do hair for really cheap. I had to be 24 hours a day. There wasn't no days off. You have to work 24 hours a day. Either if you're not working physically, you have to work, like, posting, passing out cards. So, yeah, it took me about 2 years to gain a stable clientele.
I hope y'all hear that. It took him 2 years of consistency. He had to lowball his, not even lowball yourself. I don't even say that's lowballing. You just have to, it's like starting a brand new job. You're not going to come into that job expecting $25 an hour when you haven't even showed them your work ethics yet. So it's the same thing in the beauty industry. People want to come out charging $250, no education, no understanding, no marketing skills, no branding skills. They're not focused on what they want. If y'all ever saw Madam CJ Walker Self-Made, she was out there selling 50-cent I don't think I can do that. Y'all know money changes, money depreciates, the value of a dollar changes, but the fact that they didn't have social media back then, and she was out there every single day selling a can of her new growth oil and things like that. And in our society today, we complain about a simple post. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me how they had to get out there, newspapers, and she grew up in a time where women didn't have a voice either.
Right.
Yeah, like, women didn't have a voice, women couldn't work, women couldn't have their own money. So imagine how many times she was told no, and she never took not one no for a yes. I mean, wait, she never took one no, like, that wasn't her final answer. Like, okay, you would tell me no, but somebody else gonna tell me yes. And it didn't help that she had a spouse who after a while was like, okay, you dreaming too big. Like, I'm just mind blown at how he felt. So, have you seen Self-Made?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first day it came out.
Yeah, I thought it was super dope, you guys. So some of the things that it says in there, you guys got to perseverance, which means you got to push past no matter what is going on in your life, because at the end of the day, the picture is bigger. And that crisis that you're going through at that moment is just a moment. And like Brandon said, he loved what he do. My crisis for me was I got tired of this lady snatching my edges out. I got tired of her having me stopping between 7 kids to feed all these kids. I'm 10 years old. I act like I had a life or something. I'm like, lady, look, I got books to read and journals to write in, and you got me sitting up here. So it was just like, I'll just do my own hair. I don't want to sit here all day while you just, because I'm a kid, you want to keep me here all day. I got stuff to do. And so I just started braiding my own hair, and plus she was taking out my edges, and I'm like, we can't be having no hairline behind our ears, so let's not do that. So my crisis was she was breaking off hair, and I became a tensionless braider that do not break off edges. I do not braid people edges tight. I don't care how much you say you want to pay me. I need my edges tight. Nah, baby, that ain't me. So I'm gonna need you to learn how to do your baby hairs, because hair edges is very fragile. So that's why I became who I am in Vegas, because I saw a lot of braiders did not know how to properly grip, didn't understand the follicles and how the hair flowed. So everybody was losing their edges. And out here in Vegas, it was a perfect time when I started because everyone was still just doing hair at home. And I took social media, started posting every single day, and I went from where I was then doing hair at home to doing hair in the shop. So I definitely can agree. Consistency is the key. Yeah, hey Monique. She said consistency is key. So Brandon, what is some things that you feel we have better now than what they did back in the day for the beauty industry? Like, what are some things that you are super grateful for that we have that they didn't have back then?
Social media, we have just like you said, she was going out, like pretty much what I was doing, going to the beauty supply stores, passing out cards, but she had to actually offer free services to sell her product. It's instant gratification with us. They see our work, and because of social media, we can post our reels, we can post our TikToks, we could post the process. You know, it's easier to get people to buy, you know, your product or, you know, get a service from you.
Absolutely. And definitely too, I agree with that 100%. I feel like social media has helped us so much. Like, you can lay in your bed and just post pictures of your work. Like, it's literally that simple. Back then, they tools didn't even work as easy as our tools do.
Right.
Like, their flat irons, I don't even know how they was even flat iron hair back then, because I would have been like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and work this 9 to 5. This is not for me. But she was very, like, I don't even know if people know that she has a 34 bedroom White House.
Yes.
And it's called a White House for Black
Yeah.
entrepreneur women.
Yeah.
It's super dope, and she's the first Black woman to ever do that. So she paved the way for, I want to say women, even though there's men here, but that was her goal. But you being in our industry is like, I feel like men do so great in our industry because y'all got taste. Men got really good taste. So what is a stigma in our industry that you would like to change? That I don't think was a stigma then, but it's a huge stigma now.
Probably the competition. Like, people are naturally competitive, but you know, I noticed, like, I'm a person that I just do what I love. You know what I mean? I was asked that I want to be a hairstylist when I was in 3rd grade. You know what I mean? So it's for the love of hair. So when I see other people work, I notice how they come off. They think I'm gonna be competitive, and really I just like hair. Like, you know, I love your work. I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? So I wish that people would stop being so competitive and just enjoy the industry, because, you know, you're gonna compete with me, but you're gonna be confused because I'm just in my lane. I do what I love to do. You know what I mean? I go where I want to go. You know, but yeah, I just wish that we can change that part.
That competitive stigma.
And that Peaches man in the
Oh,
salon,
I know.
I'm not
He
Peaches.
messy, I know, right?
You know, I'm not that at all. So a lot of people, I've heard from another person that they didn't want me to work in their salon out here because male hairstylists were messy. And that was the first time I've ever heard that, you know, because I was planning on coming to work, get that bread, do them heads, then leave.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't worried about being messy. I don't even want to be y'all's friend like that. Like, but if I like your work, I like your work.
And that's a huge stigma that I want to change in our industry. Just piggybacking off when you say you're not Peaches, just the tackiness, the lack of customer service, the fact that a lot of stylists are entitled a little bit, and a lot of clients are entitled, and just bring more respect and compassion to our industry. Because back then, it wasn't none of that. You gonna walk in the salon, sit down. You knew that you was gonna be there all day. Now they're like, I don't want to be here all day. Since when you got in the salon for 2 hours and left? Like, little stuff like that. I've noticed, like, people are trying to make us like, you don't respect our time. But back then, you walk in the salon, you in there for 10 hours.
Yes.
And you better hope she done with your hair by the time that 8 hours then went by.
Right.
But now they're so super entitled to, well, I want braids down my butt and I want to get out in 4 hours. Ma'am.
Right.
No. So it's just that entitlement of trying to rush us, not respecting our craft and stuff like that. And our industry just building a better customer service base.
Right.
And just having more respect and understand that times have changed. And I think we have it made. I'm not even gonna lie. I think having a booking site is dope.
Yes, definitely.
You can control when they book you, how often they book you. You can control your off days. And then having classes now. Nobody was teaching when me and you started doing hair. Nobody was teaching us how to braid. Nobody was teaching us how to flat iron hair. There was no educators other than going to cosmetology school.
Right.
Now you're in a time where you got people who want to teach virtually, who want to teach you hands-on braiding classes. So we have educators now. Back then we didn't have that. So I think we just have it a little bit more easier. It's just the lack of gratitude that we don't have towards that.
Right.
So I think the customer service stigma and the Peaches stigma is something that I would like to change. In a minute, I'm gonna have my producer come on and say something. So Brandon, I want you to. Do you plan on ever leaving Vegas?
You know what? I don't know. I'm in the process of doing foster care, so that's something that I'm gonna work for out here. I don't know how it is anywhere else, so I don't know if I want to stay in Vegas, but Vegas has been good to me. So I don't see myself like I enjoy living here now.
Yeah, people complain about my city, but I love it. And you gonna be a foster parent?
Yes.
That's dope.
Single
Of course,
foster
that's
Fly
near
dad.
dear to my heart. So,
Right.
because that's where I come from. So
Oh,
that's
really?
super dope. I was a foster kid.
Oh wow, I
So
didn't know
it's
that.
super dope that you're gonna do something like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and hand it over to the producer.
First of all, I want to say that you guys always do such an awesome job up in this thing. Shout out to you. Welcome, Brandon. You know what I'm saying, to BU Radio. A lot of things. First of all, it's Black History Month. So we celebrate our blackness. You know what I'm saying? And we celebrate the history of all of the great us in the past, And we're here today and talking about Madam C.J. Walker and what impact she made, to all of us. Even some of us who don't do nothing with no hair, I don't know nothing about hair. What I do know is that in any industry, you got to have a certain degree of professionalism. You got to have a certain degree knowing who your customer is, and you got to know your craft. So the question that I have for you, Brandon, when you knew, all right, look, this is what I want to do, what steps did you take to perfect your craft?
Well, like I said, I've been, on this journey since I was in 3rd grade, but I didn't actually started taking clients, until my early 20s. So, I watched a lot of women do hair. I would go sit up at a salon. Actually, when I really put my foot down, there was a lady on YouTube. Her name was I can't remember her name. She was a big hairstylist in Atlanta, and she had business tutorials on how to operate, how to be a good hairstylist. So before I really knew how to do hair, I watched the business tutorials, so I knew how that side worked.
Yeah.
So that was like the very first step, was to get that.
Absolutely. Did you find it challenging? And I hope this is an offensive question, but being a male in your industry, you know what I'm saying, dealing with other men and how they look at you or how they interact with you, how do you deal with that element of it?
Actually, to be like, men are actually very supportive of that.
Oh, that's
they
dope.
they love that. Like, they put me onto so many clients. Even my dad, who was actually homophobic, he was the one who asked me when I was in 3rd grade, like, do you want to be a hairstylist or do you want to be a barber? So he supported me through the whole thing, like, to this day.
No
Like,
doubt. Do you find women trying to be even more competitive with you? Because,
Yeah.
I know a lot of times, I hear different conversations and women feel like there's no room for a male in their industry. Like, this is a female-driven industry, but to have somebody like you who's good at what you do, you know what I'm saying? Do you find them more out for blood? You know what I'm saying? Trying to compete against you?
yes, they definitely try to compete more, but naturally, I'm a man, so naturally I want to make them feel comfortable. Like, this is not I'm not in competition with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all, people like Madam C.J. Walker are the pioneers, so I give them respect. But yeah, they definitely want to compete with me. But at the end of the day, they end up loving me because they notice that I'm not in competition. Like,
No doubt. In the days of social media, of course, we seen Madam C.J. Walker. She was out pretty much slinging her product. She was standing on chairs and the whole nine, yelling and really pushing it out there. What ways do you use to sell your product, which is your gift and what you do?
I just be me. Like, you gotta just, pass out cards. You gotta talk to people. You have to be inviting. But my thing is how I reel them in is that healthy hair talk. When you talk about that healthy hair, that get them every
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you guys find yourselves like feeling like you gotta overcompensate for like compliments and different things to make people feel comfortable? Like with the hairstyles, because I know some people are insecure and jumping into like a brand new hairstyle that they may not have never tried before. Sometimes that could be little, you can be a little fearful that it ain't gonna turn out right or whatever. What ways do you guys use to make people more comfortable? We'll let Cosmo go with that.
That's because I get that a lot because I'm a braider. So people think braids are boring. People think braids don't have like an elegant look to them. So I swear I just think I'm born to do this because once I'm done with my clients' hair, they are confident. They're like, I'm nervous. I haven't had braids before, but I'm super confident in my work and my consistency and the fact that I know how to tuck their hair. So if anything ever happened, they get new growth, they wet their hair is not coming out in braids. It's going to look the same way when they get that new growth. So that gives me the confidence to educate them and teach them like, girl, you're going to be fine. Trust me. You just ain't had my braids before. And I tell them all the time, like, I have more men compliment my braids than women. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Like, men have changed my mind on the stigma that's for braids. Like, only, like ghetto people wear braids. But you will be surprised how many men be like, wow, those are how you get them so neat? How they so consistent? How they look like this? And I'm like, you a man, how you even pay attention to that? So just having that information from like the outside world, I can put that into my clients. Like, girl, you just ain't had my braids. So once I'm done, I'm gonna style you into this bun. You'll be fine. So I do my little signature bun at the end. And of course my partings and stuff like that. Like, your work really is what make them confident. Yeah. People don't want to believe that, and they like, well, my work is good. It might not be though, because if your client ain't walking out that chair way happy, you might want to check yourself on that. Because if my clients ain't happy or they don't feel like I didn't do a transformation on them, and that's just with braids, then I feel like I have not done my job. So the transformation by itself is enough information for them to be happy.
Wow. I'm gonna be 100. I wasn't really into braids, especially like cornrows and stuff like that. But I never forget, there was a young lady that came through, had the cornrows like with the little design joints on it, and I had to do a little quick double take on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because it may not be the style that you necessarily like, but if the right person do it, every style works, Yeah,
that's the thing. I just did a post on that said, if your normalize clients being able to tell you that they don't like their hair, right? So a girl commented and said, liking it and me looking it, I know I did good, it's two different things. And I'm like, no, love, you want to be real, you don't know their face structure, it can still fall on you. You need to know face structure. If your client come to you and say, Christine, I know if my client who has a certain long type of head come to me and say, Christine, I want straight backs, I'm going to say, you think your hair long now? He's really gonna make them look, you have to tell them, because we learn that in school, but here's the issue. Braiders don't go to school, so braiders don't know nothing about face structure. So they'll put some cornrows in your head and wonder why the client don't like them. Your braids can be neat, but if it don't look good on that client, it looks horrible to them, and it's gonna look horrible to somebody that's looking at them like, why she ain't give you something else? Your work can be phenomenal, but if it don't look good on that client, it's gonna look like trash. And it was a huge debate about that. I was like, well, that's different. It's not different. It's still customer service, and you still have to communicate that with your clients. I'm not letting my client leave and a style don't look good on her. I'm gonna be like, look, babe, she got a Jada Pinkett head. You got more like a Tyrese head. That's two different structures. So we can do this, but if we do this is how you gonna look. And you kind of gotta give them that visual of what it's gonna look like, and they're gonna be like, oh heck no, I don't want to look like that. So it's just, you are so right. Like, depends on the person. Something can look like, short looks don't look. I don't like short looks on me. I tell people all the time, because I'm short already, so I don't need nothing else short make me look stubby. Long always make me look very, just long and just tall and stuff like that. But again, that's that education
Yeah.
that helped me. I'm not gonna lie, because I used to be like, why I look like that on their head? Come to find out, if they got a round face, you can't do a bob. Now you
Yes,
just make them
yes.
look
I
like a
was
little
just gonna say
pumpkin.
that.
So little
Yeah.
stuff like that
Or
people
no
don't-
neck. If you don't have a neck,
You gotta give them
that
some
that hair
bone.
is gonna sit right on their shoulders if it's
And you
too
gonna
short.
look just like
Yeah.
this. Look.
I learned that the hard
So
way.
yeah, that is true. That's what's changing a lot, and that's what we bring into this industry is education. I saw a post. Speaking of education, Madam C.J. Walker product, right? Her hair fell out. She made this product to help stimulate her scalp. I saw a post that said, you beauty industry people are taking people money by lying and telling them that oil and grease stimulates their scalp when your hair creates natural oils, right? I was like, how when people got dry scalp? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's like little stuff like that. When people don't have the education behind what they're
Yes.
talking about, they want to contradict what they think they
Yes.
know because they didn't went on somebody YouTube who been doing their hair, who got overly sebaceous glands, who
Right.
just got naturally oily skin. It was like, oh, she don't use grease. Well, she don't have to because her body
Right.
creates oils. I have dry skin, so
Yes.
I need oils. I need moisturizers. So when I saw that, I'm like, that goes against the whole thing of what she created. Like,
Yeah.
she created a product for women to be able to grow their hair because
Yes.
if you 4C, oh baby, listen, you need some product. You
Right.
can't be out here like me with 3A hair and just put some water on it and just go. I
Yeah.
need moisture products. I can't do water-based products. So there's a difference in that. So I saw that and I'm just like, well, I can't wait to do this show.
Right.
Because it's just you're misleading people. You're not educating correctly. You absolutely need product to stimulate your scalp. That's what it creates, that blood flow. That's why men, when they have waves, their hair grow faster than women because what they're doing all day. They're constantly brushing their hair
Yeah.
and stimulating their scalp. That's why men hair grow faster because they brushing their hair, they're combing their beards. What we do, we think leaving dirt on our hair and not washing it makes it grow. It clogs your pores. I don't know who told y'all that.
That's so wild to me that people still think that to this day. And I just be looking like, who told y'all that? Like, what?
Not Madam C.J. Walker. She
Right.
ain't say that. She was washing her shampoo in her hair.
Because that was the problem with her. Madam C.J. Walker, she came from a family of slaves. So they lived in poor living conditions. And because she couldn't properly wash her hair and, maintain her hair, that's what made her hair fall out on top of stress and all that other stuff. So we're your hair is growing better dirty. It's a lie.
It's a myth. Look, it's a myth, y'all. That's not true. And it's stained.
Yeah.
I was on TikTok and I made that comment of you should be shampooing your hair every 2 weeks. Somebody was like, I don't shampoo my hair until 3 months. And I'm like, ugh, it's COVID.
Wow.
Like, forget
Got
everything
COVID all
else.
on your
About to
body.
throw
You
some
got
Lysol on
Rona-
that thing
you got
real
Rona
quick.
all in your scalp. And I'm like, so do you shampoo? Do you wash your pillow? She was like, I wash my pillowcase. Why? Why you wash your pillowcase if you don't shampoo your hair for 3 months?
Right.
And it's just
Right.
crazy how people really think that your hair don't need love and care and tenderness, and that's why they be like, I'm not paying that. I'll go to Pookie down the street. Go ahead. She gonna burn your hair right out.
Okay.
That's why they're so big on that. And I'm like, I want everybody in the industry to start educating people. If you see someone giving the wrong information, like, oh, this don't grow your hair, be like, well, it might not grow your hair, but it might grow somebody else's hair who needs it, because it's just everybody's different. It's case by case.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't have made this product and created something for us, because in the movie, the mixed chick says she made the product because black girls want to be like mixed girls so bad.
Wow.
That's why she originally made the product.
Right.
Because and she wouldn't let Madam C.J. Walker sell the product because she didn't look the part.
Right.
She didn't look pretty and she didn't look mixed and kind of manipulating the industry a little
Right,
bit.
right.
So I'm like, she created that for people like us with 4C hair, who people tell us, well, your hair can't grow because it's 4C. It can look this short. When you blow dry, it's down your back.
Yes, definitely.
Just the education within itself.
Wow. Again, I'm gonna direct this question to Brandon. When you when somebody comes to your chair and they come with that little picture, I don't know how they show you. I know at the barbershop, I might come put a little picture in my phone, be like, hey, I need this hairstyle right here, But when somebody comes sit in your chair and say, hey, can I get this hairstyle? And you take a look at that hairstyle and you take a look at that head and it don't line up, how do you, kind of redirect it or let that client know?
Well, before I would just do it on anybody, but to gain a good clientele, you have to be able to tell them like, this is not, and I'm straightforward, so that's one thing that make me stand out. I'd be like, yeah, we're not gonna do that, but here are some other options, you know, and I'll explain to them like Chrissy said, when you go to cosmetology school, they teach you about facial structure, they teach you about neck, they teach you about the color of your skin, which I really don't care for that
Undertones,
part,
yeah.
but you know, you have to learn how to, like, different ways to achieve that specific style, you know, to make them look good. This is an enhancement. You know, you don't want to take away from your features. You want to enhance your features, you know.
So like putting a different type of spin to what they already have is what okay, that's dope. That's dope. There's a question in the live feed.
I know, I see it.
They're saying, and this question can be directed to both of you guys. What was the biggest takeaway from what y'all got from the movie?
I'm gonna use Lynn words. Bet on yourself. You know how many people told that woman she was crazy? Even the woman who grew her hair, she was like, well, you can't market. Like, she went out there selling her stuff behind her back just to show her, like, look, I can sell the product. And she like, well, you don't look the part. You're not cute enough. You ugly. You dark. You ugly. Your hair nappy. Like, but you use me to grow. Like, what? So it's just like, when she went out and was like, you know, I'm gonna do this myself, and she outworked her at the end of the day. That lady was worried about what Madam C.J. Walker was doing. Madam C.J. Walker was not worried about what she was doing. So that gave her room to push past her because she wasn't focused on her own herself, and her purpose in the industry was different. See, Madam C.J. Walker problem solved.
Wow.
The girl, she did too, but her problem solving was more on a jealous level.
Yes.
Anytime you come with something very vindictive and in a place to hurt women and not service women, you're gonna lose no matter what. I don't care if Madam C.J. Walker took her product and made it hers. You allowed that space.
Yes.
You allowed her to step on your toes and outwork you because your focus was in the wrong area. So she took a chance on herself. She didn't care what nobody had to say. She thought, oh, I'm not gonna make it. Bet. Don't you even worry about it.
Right.
And she made it happen.
Wow. What was your take? What was your biggest take from the?
Pretty much the same thing. Like, when you worried about the wrong stuff, you know, if you looking, that's that competitiveness. Like, you worried about me, but I'm worried about growing my business. You know what I mean? So you being worried about me is giving me an opportunity to
Find your
surpass you.
weaknesses.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Find your weaknesses. Like, when I say she was relentless, like that's my word, is relentless.
Man.
That's exactly what she was.
It's crazy how you can take a product and two people can use the same product, but one product is packaged a certain way, you know what I'm saying, and talked about a certain way, and the other package is just kind of, you know, it holds the product, you know, and people talk about it, but they both do the same exact thing. But the product that you speak a certain way about, the product that looks good, it's the product that everybody spends money on. And that's one thing that I got from the movie. Like, you gotta really market, and you gotta really, you know, speak highly of the products that you sell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so again, when you guys post and you guys promote what you do, how do you guys pack up y'all product and you know, make it look good for people to want to come spend their money on your services?
Lighting.
He said lighting. Man, that content,
Right.
how you show up too. How you show up, like a lot of my girls will say, I don't know what my caption should be. If you are looking for a clientele, your caption needs to tell them why they need to be booking a service with you. What is 10 braiders out there? What makes you different? It's 10 people that do flat irons out there. What makes you different? Oh, what makes me different? They get up at 10 o'clock. I get up at 5. You can book me at 5 a.m. if you want to. Like, little details like that matter. Instead of us saying, oh, she sell lollipops, I'm going to go sell 2 lollipops more than her. No. Let her sell her lollipops. But she sell lollipops, that's all right. I'm going to sell bows, and then I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. But you're bringing a different feel. So you just got to be different, and you got to problem solve, and you got to be genuine. Like, I want to say, like, how I was able to dominate Vegas is my heart was in it. My heart was in it. I didn't care. The only reason why I studied people in my industry is to study their weaknesses so I can make them my strengths.
Ooh.
Only reason why I studied them.
That's
Other than
another
that,
right there. That's
I'm
a
not
key.
studying your strengths. I want to know your weaknesses, because your weaknesses is going to become my strengths, which is going to make me different from you. I don't want to know what you
Absolutely.
good at. I don't care. Oh, you can do box braids? Okay, then I'm going to do box braids and not listen. You have to. And like, granted, we have to understand we are a competition, but
Yeah.
we don't have to step on each other's toes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the fine line between love and hate in this industry.
Wow. We talked about a little bit last week. What was your why? I'm gonna ask Brandon that thing. What's your why? Why do I do this?
I do it simply because I love to do it. I can't imagine waking up every day and not doing what I love to do. I never was that person that had to figure out what I wanted to do in life, because I always knew it was always in me. So, doing what I love every day is like the best thing that I can do,
Wow. So it's like this is just your passion.
Yeah, it's my passion, literally.
Yeah. You know what? Being a producer, a lot of times I get the joy out of taking something from conception to completion. And when it's complete and I can listen to it and I can see the joy on my client's face when they hear themselves and they hear how the song sounds, that's my why. I sit back and I'm like, bam. But I can imagine somebody come in and they got the little bandana on their head and ain't looking too good, and then y'all put that magic touch on them, and then they look in the mirror and they like, ooh, you know what I'm saying, and they walk out with a little switch, you know what I'm saying, that thing going whoop, whoop, back and forth, because they feel good because of what you guys have done and how you guys have enhanced their beauty. I got a question. Now, I hope don't nobody get offended, but how come hairstylists sometimes
Look a mess.
look a mess?
That's me all the time.
Man, listen.
Every day.
We just don't want to do our hair afterward.
Man.
I don't have time
Yeah.
for that.
Man.
Like, I was so proud of myself for doing these braids in like 2 days. I was like, you know what? Just push through, Chrissy. Just push through. I ain't do them tiny though, because I ain't about that life no more. But it's just going from doing hair all day. Granted, we love it. It's a passion. This is why we here. We built for this. And then when we get off work, we don't want to look at our hair. We don't want to look at no hair. We don't want to deal with us. It's just, we a bunny. Now, we won't look like no hobo, but we'll look like, we'll throw a bun in our head real quick, or a wig on or something like that. You will see us attempt,
Yeah.
but you won't see us go the full route.
Edges. I might brush my.
Yeah,
you know.
brush it, go get a lineup or something. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's just, we just don't be feeling like
After
it.
spending all that time on everybody else's hair,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I got
especially
no more
when you-
time for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you booked, especially when you're booked, when
Yes.
you are working sun up to sundown to build. In the beginning, like Brandon said, no off days, 7 days a week, even on Sundays if you don't want to. You tired. You so tired because the focus is to build the brand and to put yourself out there. And as long as I don't look like I got alopecia, or my edges is falling out, or I don't know what I'm doing with hair, I don't think what I look like matter no more.
Right.
They used to us looking like we just woke up.
Yeah. No, for real. Like, I'm probably gonna do my hair once a year. Like, do something to it to where it looks like, I made an attempt, but not. My ponytail is normal. I didn't know I was gonna be on camera today, y'all. But my ponytail is normally neater than this. But that's what you're gonna see me in, a ponytail every day. I don't do much to my hair anyway, but I wash it though. I wash it, weekly.
He said weekly. I know you clean.
Not every 3
Right.
months, huh?
Man.
Not every 3 months.
Now you are your own walking advertisement, y'all.
Yes.
Don't listen to me.
Yes.
Your own walking advertisement. So in the beginning, I was braiding my hair and doing clients because honestly, I had no choice. If I went to Walmart and somebody was like, "Oh, who did your braids?" "Oh, me." "Okay, can I get your information?"
Yeah.
Same way now. If I go somewhere and they say, "Who did your hair?" or I have I'll have braids and a shirt on that says, like this one says, "Braiding is my superpower." So
Wow.
little stuff like that. You are a walking billboard. So if you are a stylist, I'm not saying get up and keep your hair all over the place, but swoop your edges, because I'm telling you, they're going to be like, how you get your edges like that? And you be like, oh, I'm a stylist, so I just do my edges every morning. The moment you say that, that's advertisement right there.
Yeah.
So don't get up with an afro and don't even
Right.
try, honey. We ain't saying that. We just saying that we don't do our hair as often as everybody else.
Right.
I'm gonna be completely honest when I say I'm a little naive to hair and hairstyles, you know, because I just be thinking y'all females' hair be growing real fast.
Oh yeah.
I be like, oh, your hair grow quick.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I don't be understanding, you know. Cosmo walked in here today and I almost reintroduced myself to her. Like I did she came in, I'm like, are you here for the show?
Yeah, and everybody think that. People think I look different with weave and braids, like
Absolutely.
they really do.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you know, hairstyles bring out different personalities.
Yes.
And
It definitely do.
The lace fronts bring out what they call a hot girl summer.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
now
them
we got the
frontals.
braids in. We
Oh, yeah.
we conservative,
Right.
okay.
but the wigs, yeah, be ready. The
Okay.
selfies is coming. So yeah.
So
different
do you
personalities.
have and just kind of piggyback off of what you just said, do you have certain looks for certain reasons? Like when you know when you said when you got your wig, you want to throw them selfies up.
Yeah.
Which look matches the feel or matches the event that you do?
Well, that was actually, I just started wearing wigs, lace fronts, but the reason why is because I'm converting over to a coach. So when it comes to, well, I am a coach, not converting over. So when it comes to the industry, you kind of got to look the part for both sides. So believe it or not, I hate to say it, but when a woman has a wig on, she gets a lot more feedback than she has braids.
Oh,
It's
wow.
crazy to say it, but it's just like people, it's just, I don't know. That's just how our industry work. That's just how the cookie crumble. The views are increased, the comments increase. People trust you a lot more. When you kind of pull off that Kim K concept, people buy from you more.
Wow.
People like, oh, she's so pretty. Even though I know what I know, don't get it twisted. I know what I know, but now that I'm converting over to coaching and mentoring, I'm noticing that the women that teach marketing in our industry, all of them had their body done. All of them got their lips done. I'm not giving y'all $10,000 to give. No, I'm not doing that. So I'll just put a wig on and switch up my look, here and there, like, so it sells. I ain't gonna lie, the look sells. It's sad, but it do. It sells over knowledge.
Wow. Hey,
It's deep, I know.
that works.
It does though, but
What Brandon, the same question to you. I know you said you kind of keep your hairstyle kind of similar, but when you do hair, which hairstyles kind of match the vibe or the event type, of your clients?
For my clients or for myself?
Both. We'll say for you first, and then for your clients.
When I wear a sew-in, it's about that sleek look. Like when women think that, like when my hair is like longer, I get more attention, especially from women, because they're like, "Damn, your hair is long," and that's also how I get a lot of clients too. But on my clients, it's that they like a lot of sleek looks. That gets more attention, especially being in a city. It's a such thing as city hair and country hair. Like country hair is like old school, hard, not really put together, but I specialize in sleek hair.
No doubt. And I'm gonna ask one more question. We're gonna get ready to fade this thing out. I know this probably gonna be a kicker though. In the days of everything being natural, do you guys feel like the perm is gonna disappear?
yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
It already has.
When people realize that a relaxer does not don't do nothing for you, honestly, it makes your hair straight, but you still gotta maintenance the hair every week. You still gotta give yourself a deep condition. You still gotta style your hair. See, people get relaxers because they think you can be lazy.
We're lazy.
That is
Yeah.
furthest from the truth, honey. Your hair gonna fall right to the floor if you is not putting that conditioner oil in your hair. So you actually gotta do more to relaxed hair than you have to do to natural hair. So yep, it's definitely gonna fade away. It has already. Like everybody's 100% natural, which I love it because now you have, it's the opposite now. Back then, dark women wanted straight hair. Now, people with straight hair trying to figure out how to get their hair really, really curly.
Yeah.
So the tables have definitely turned. History has definitely took a turn.
Definitely.
And I definitely don't think it's going anywhere with the whole natural concept.
Right. I don't even know how to, like, I know how to do relaxed hair, but, and like I said, I focus more on sleek styles. So to see a transformation from somebody with 4C hair to their hair being really, really silky straight and a neat ponytail, you know, people love seeing that. And it's harder for me to do it on relaxed hair. It should be easy, but it just doesn't look the same. You don't have that same luster and shine to your hair when you take, like, you're stripping your hair of all the you know, good stuff when
Bonds
you
and nutrients.
right,
yeah.
when you relax it. So normally I just tell people, like, well, I don't really know how to work with relaxed hair. I don't even know how to hold it right. Like,
Wow.
I'll be
It
like,
slips through your fingers.
right.
If you got a short haircut, now people with short
Yes,
haircuts,
definitely.
absolutely. Finger waves, absolutely. So you have people who live that lifestyle of a short haircut.
Yeah.
That's completely different. I used to get relaxers. You can't pay me to get a relaxer ever because I didn't realize like how thick and pretty and long. I'm
Yes.
like, my hair can be straight if I just get the proper person to do
Yeah.
it. So for
Right.
people like me who 4C, no, we ain't going back to relaxers.
I ain't gonna lie, back in the day, I had a little S curl.
Me
You
too.
know what I'm saying? And I thought I was really doing it with my S curl, you know? But after the S curl, you know, about 2 weeks in there, that thing got real dry, you know what I'm saying? And then my hair started getting all crazy and it just felt weird. And I had to stop messing with that, you know? So
Me too.
yeah, I see.
Too much of anything ain't good for you guys. Like too much of anything, you have to alternate. You have to understand that you don't want your hair to get. It's like putting a part on the same side.
Yeah.
Eventually, your hair gonna start thinning and balding in that area. So just switching it up, being diverse, because too much of anything is just really not healthy for you. Patricia said, "History always repeats itself." It does. It does. However, I think we are going into the Jetsons type of lifestyle. I don't think we're gonna go backwards. I think we're just gonna go ahead and keep moving forward. Wigs just finna get better. Pretty soon you're gonna be able to just blow the wig on your head and it's gonna melt. So I don't know. A machine that braids your hair for you. I don't know. Like times is changing. I don't think we're leaving this dementia of social media and just everything fancy.
Yeah.
We about to have flying cars pretty soon. So.
Yeah, and they already got some. That's you know already
Yeah.
developed in the whole nine.
Yeah, like
It's-
Tesla.
They just got they
Yeah,
got
that
to
drive you.
design the roads and stuff for it. You know, yeah, I totally agree with you. The game is getting ready to change. You know, and you got to be ready to go with the change. You know, shout out to everybody celebrating Black History Month with us. Let's do this, Brandon, real quick. Give them your social media handles. How can people get in contact with you?
Social media handles, everything, More Hair St. Clair. More Hair _ St. Clair, STCLAIR.
Okay, make sure y'all get in contact with them and Cosmo. You know, let them know how they can get. Well, you probably all filled up. You can't take no more clients, can you?
Depends on my mood. Look,
No prayer.
but y'all know where y'all can reach me at Cosmo Diva, everything, TikTok, Instagram, www.cosmodiva.com. You can really type in Google and type in Cosmo Diva. Everything that I have under my name will come up. So that's pretty much how you can find me, you guys. I have a TikTok class coming up too. So, and it's gonna be the last one. I ain't doing no more after this.
And I'll be taking it.
We gonna get with a couple people and do a little begging session, and we gonna see if we can get some more classes out of her. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, y'all want to come check out this TikTok class. We're gonna be having one over here at BU Radio soon. So you know, space is limited. So if you are interested, you know, hit me in the inbox and we can see if we can get that thing set up for you. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure, even after the show, y'all continue to share, throw likes. Shout out to everybody in the comments right now. We stream live on 5 different platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Periscope/Twitter, and we're also on a platform called Mixler, which is our radio platform. So continue to tune in to the BU Network, and they will be back next week at the same time on the same station in the same place, and hopefully you'll be the same listener. We appreciate you. We're gonna get in, leave out with this song by Natrell.com called Foreign. Let's get it.
I was never complacent, put my foot on the pavement. In my dream I was chasing, while my girl waited patient. Spent a lifetime on this music shit, going nowhere, I was losing it. She was right there enduring this, while her folks like, why she doing this? But Shawty didn't care what nobody said. She was gonna ride to the day I'm dead, stay by my side when the others fled. So I'm convinced that she deserves it all. She believed in me when chances were real small. I picture me driving a foreign. Shawty, she riding the passenger side. Yeah, 3 in the morning, holding her head up. Yeah, there from the beginning. Oh, she was there from the beginning. Baby, you were there from the beginning. Shawty my ride or die, and she is my reason why I keep on grinding to buy her expensive things that money can buy. Her beauty represents me well, she loves me and others can tell. Her heart is where my love will dwell. Talk about her man and she will rebel. I ain't ashamed, this ain't a game. She was right there in the storm and the rain, endure the pain and the financial strain. Now she gon' shine with the fortune and fame. She gambled her life for me, she sacrificed for me. She deserves it all, it's only right, you see. No matter the price, you see, I picture me driving a Ford.